What is going on, y'all? Tech me out here, and I am back with another monthly faves. And I'm excited because if you're new to this, what I like to do is talk about all of my favorite tech and non-tech items, from movies to TV shows to my favorite bags, just anything that I have been enjoying. And I have some really good items in this one. But if you have missed the previous episodes of this, I will link them in one of these corners for you. Everything that I mentioned will be listed down below in the description box. But yeah, let's get into the first one. All right, so the very first item I have today, y'all, is my DJ set, man. If you've been following me on Instagram, then you know I made an announcement about getting this around Christmas. And I have dabbled with it, but not as of late because it's been super busy, but this is still a favorite of mine. And one thing I'm learning is that DJing is a lot harder than it looks. It is a lot of focus and multitasking and concentration going on to maintain two different tempos and mix them. I have a song now that I've been trying to mix, and I just haven't been too successful. But I'm learning, and I'm giving myself grace throughout the process. I always wanted to learn how to DJ, so this was perfect. But you're able to control one song over here and one song over there, and it has the display in the center. But yeah, I want to definitely double down on this because it was a nice hobby when I was like being more consistent with the practice. But I need to get back into this. All right, now this right here lets me film with two of my favorite things outside of my Sony camera here, which is the DJI Pocket and my iPhone. So a lot of times lately when I've been going to like different events and things like that, these are the two cameras that I have been bringing. And I always say to myself, I'm gonna film in landscape on the Pocket and in vertical on my iPhone. But somehow that never happens. I've even had to go into my DJI Pocket settings and change it so that regardless of which way I flip this screen, it will film in landscape. And that is where this item comes in. So you can basically take your phone here, attach it via MagSafe to that side. And you know, it has a ball head so it can be adjustable. And then what I've done on this side is I installed a Ulanzi base plate by just, you know, twisting it on up here and then installing a Ulanzi plate on the bottom of my DJI Pocket, so that I can do this, you know, just quickly snap it in and lock it. So yeah, this is allowing me to now film in vertical on one side, landscape on the other, or vice versa, because you know, I can't rotate this. So yeah, if you are an iPhone DJ Pocket filmer as well, I highly recommend. Now another favorite of mine, y'all, we gonna get a little personal. Y'all, I was on a struggle bus over here. Yeah, we were really roughing it for a little bit with the washer because the one I had before, I've had since like, God, 2016, 2017. And I liked it, you know, it got the job done and washed my clothes until it didn't. What ended up happening is I had to literally like apply pressure to the door for it to start. And then it got to a point where it was a dice roll on if it would start, even with this tactic. So we bit the bullet and we pulled the plug on a Samsung washer, and I like it so far. I love how fast it can wash my clothes, and I can wash my entire king bed set all at once. I didn't get the dryer yet, so we got this flowing with the old dryer, new washer, but it's doing what I need it to do, and that's clean my clothes. This one from Samsung is a smart washer. I can control it with my phone using the SmartThings app. I like that it works on my iOS device and my Android device, so best of both worlds. They have a few different modes up here, and the cute thing with it for me is like at the end when it's finished washing your clothes, it doesn't just chime. It plays a song made up of the chimes. Sometimes we'll be up in here, my wife and I, and we'll be like, what was that? And it's the washer going off, letting us know, you know, the clothes are done. But we can also, you know, have control our visibility of it using our phones. So thus far, it has been good to me. And I like the look of it on top of that. So next up is the dryer. This is another favorite of mine. One, because it's an accomplishment, and two, because it helps you. And that is my content creator guide to get you on the right path or right steps in content creation. So what I have in here are my recommendations from cameras to lights to mics, tips and tricks on how to use them, the different ways in which I use them, and just the different things that I have learned throughout the years of creating content. But I'm also working on some more products, so definitely stay tuned. But nonetheless, I'm gonna have the content creator guide linked down below, and of course, everything else that I'm mentioning in this video. Another thing I've been enjoying is my Sonos speaker, and that is in my loft, AKA the movie room. It's been perfect for, you know, that small small, cozy space because the sound quality is still amazing, but it doesn't have the same size and form factor as the Sonos are. So what I've done is place the beam under the TV on the little shelving that I have there. And then I've placed the rear left speaker in the corner and the rear right speaker in the corner on these stands. I did think about putting them in the corners of the wall, but I feel like the sound effect is a little bit better right there by our ears. But this is an area that is constantly expanding, I feel, and I need to update it because it's been a little bit. But I do want to add in like a popcorn machine and a better place for the snacks and just kind of get it even cozier and throw some like movie posters on the wall that are lit up kind of like you see at the movie theaters. So yeah, I got a vision. I just got to finish seeing it through. But I'll be updating y'all, you know, as I go along. So yeah, feel free to follow me on Instagram too, because in between updating y'all here, I do update y'all a lot there. Now this other item I want to talk about, or rather items. Y'all, I got a ton of goodies from Freewell, and I love, in addition to bags, camera gear. Camera gear, I cannot get enough of camera gear. I try to moderate how much I buy. But oh my God, I just love testing out new things. This is an item from them that I've been using with my phone. It is a MagSafe stand, and it can expand to be so tall. Like, look at this. What? This is all I need, man. So the ones I've been using before, they kind of stop right here. So this takes it up a notch, you know? And it has the ability to be mounted on my tripod as well. And this can tilt like that. So super clutch. I also got in a few other products from them. I'm still checking out a lot of the things that they sent, and I'll, you know, update y'all. But this is another one that I'm excited about, their Pro SSD hub. So this is a handle for your phone. It has a clamp on the bottom so it can, you know, easily be mounted onto a tripod. You can quickly change the orientation of your phone, and there's a Bluetooth control built into the handle so, you know, you can easily start and stop recording. These are the quick filters that I have from them, but those are a few of the pieces that I've gotten into so far from them, but there's so much more, y'all. We gonna talk, okay? I've been using their products for years, but this was definitely a nice treat. So thank you, Freewell. This one right here, the M4 MacBook Air. So I've had this for a few weeks now, and I love this thing. I predominantly, you know, edit and work off of my M3 14-inch MacBook Pro, and it's maxed out, but I love the form factor of the M4 MacBook Air. It's so light. It feels like my iPad with the keyboard. If that, you know. The one thing I will say though that I noticed in using this, when I put this in my bag, if something rubs against it in the slightest way, you can kind of see these marks start to appear on it, but it's easily wiped out with like a microfiber cloth. I do miss the micro SD card slot that I have on my MacBook Pro because that did spoil me, but I love how convenient this is, you know. It just makes me want to edit, want to work, and it's fast as well. It's been able to keep up with my workload, which consists of me editing 4K footage in Final Cut with plugins, emails, Canva, things like that. But laptops are my preference over desktop computers because typically when I'm at my desk, I just dock it to a bigger monitor. But yeah. Y'all, I never thought I would spend this on socks, but here we are. I love a pair of stance socks. They are actually on my feet right now, and I am a stance girl now. Like, I want to swap out all my socks for these. They are so comfortable. I love the designs. Again, influenced by my brother, or rather silently motivated by my brother, because I saw his stance socks and I was like, oh, those are cute. Because I've always been the type where I just need black socks, white socks, brown, gray, like neutrals. But nah, not anymore, man. I love to get, you know, kind of creative with my socks now. So yeah, I would say though right now, my favorite pair that I have are probably these, but we'll see how long that'll be because, you know, I am getting more. A favorite of mine, y'all, this month definitely has to be my new nose ring. I don't know if you peeped it, you know, but yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. It's not real, you know, this is a fake nose ring. I can just, you know, pull it out. It's like one of those clip-ons where you just slide in and then you seal it by squeezing it together. I've been wanting a nose ring for some time, y'all. But this is kind of, you know, letting me get warmed up to the idea of how it could look and if I truly want it. And I don't know, maybe I could just keep rocking this one instead of getting a piercing there, because I heard the nose ring piercing hurts and it, you know, makes you drop that single tear. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see where I go with it. My cousin had actually sent a picture of her with the nose ring. And I just was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I thought she had actually got it pierced. She's like, oh yeah, girl, it's not real. I was like, what? She told me she got it off Amazon. I found one that was similar, and here we are. So now we're twins. This right here. I really thought I would just be fine with the Ulanzi tripod that I had been using for my iPhone until I came across this one. It is something about this MagSafe top here and just the ease of just snapping that on and then having all these different angles. But this is a tripod that I'm now using with my phone. You pull it out like this and open the legs up down here at the bottom. It does have a little resistance at first, like, there we go. Tend to have to kind of put some force on it, but this is a tripod for your phone. And it has this nice rotating head here, which has just came in clutch in so many different scenarios. It also gets fairly tall, but I've been really loving this for my phone. I actually bought this along with a regular tripod, even though I didn't need it. But I just love how easy it is to put my phone up here and get shots. And that's something that I've honestly been doing a bit more on the plane. Instead of using suction mounts to mount to the glass there, I've been using my Ulanzi tripods to get the shot, you know? Another item that I picked up recently is this foldable couch. So I really only have this office chair in my office. And sometimes my wife will come in here and sit, or my friends will come in here and sit, and there's nowhere for them to sit. This foldable couch has given me a cozy area for them to get comfortable. It has a footrest as well. And then when I need it out the way, I can easily collapse it down and put it in the corner somewhere. I've even filmed a couple of my videos there as well. So having this new addition in the office has been nice. Okay, now this is an incense head. It just looks so good. Like, you got the lady here with the little smokes here, and when you put the incense cone in the back of her head, smoke comes through her mouth and it just creates this cool effect. So I just love the look of this, even without lighting a cone, which honestly most of the time I'm not doing. I just love seeing it as a piece of art. So that's predominantly what I've been using it for. It does come with some cones, which didn't work well for me, didn't even have a scent, so that was practically trash. But you can always put your own cones in here, put it in this little holder, slip it in the back of her head, it seals it in like that. Then the idea is, you know, eventually the smoke travels through, comes out through her mouth, and it creates a very cool effect. So this kind of sits in front of her, you place it where you want, and you're good to go. I'm gonna try to find the link so I can share it with you, because it always sucks when somebody shares something and you can't get it in case you do like it. But nonetheless, this is definitely a fave. Y'all know I love to talk about bags. Oh, and this month, y'all, I didn't buy any new bags. I lied, I did. The suitcases count? We'll talk about it. But the bag that I've been carrying the most with me lately, honestly, especially, you know, when I'm local and I'm not flying or whatever, my Grams 28 laptop sling. I had this for a little bit actually before I was using it as frequently as I am right now. But what I have found is that I really like how minimal this is, but still allows me to carry my essentials, or actually really forces me to just carry my essentials, because I'm a heavy packer. I really try to pack light. I really do. But I never seem to be successful in that. From my suitcases to, you know, my bag that I have for the day, it doesn't matter. I tend to bring more than I need. But this really gets me together, you know, because it can't hold everything. The thing about this one is that, you know, being that it is leather, which does feel very nice, it doesn't have the same give like my nylon bag may, or, you know, another material that doesn't have this strong form factor. But nonetheless, what I tend to put in here is my MacBook Pro, and then like my tablet in one of these sections, and my DJI Pocket 3, and then my rugged external SD card holder that also, you know, has this built into it for me to put like my micro SD cards, and it lets me transfer my footage with, good gracious, a built-in cable. So I love when things have the built-in cable, because one, you should then get definitely the maximum speed, and two, you don't have to keep up with it. God knows, I'll lose a cable quick. But it has this carabiner, so I could clip it on the bag if I wanted, but most of the time I tend to keep it in here. But this has a ton of, organizational pockets built inside, so you're good to go. But there's also some pockets on the outside, which I'll put some other personal items, like sanitizer, things like that. But yeah, I love the bag so far. And it has minimal branding, right there across the front. Plus there is a sleeve here, so I can slide this down onto my luggage handle in the event that I do take it with me while I'm traveling. Another bag that I got in recently came actually from my friends over at Spotify. It is so cute. Come on, y'all. It is in preparation for my trip with them to Sweden. So this here is right on time and the perfect size, because it has these handles here so I can quickly grab the bag, which I love, because that is one thing I wish the Grams 128 bag had. On the inside, nice pockets, super deep. And I like that it kind of unzips all the way down to the bottom like that, so that I can easily get to the bottom of the bag. And then I have an area back here, which I want to say should be able to hold my MacBook Air. So that can hold my MacBook Air back there, or my MacBook Pro probably. And then along the back, there's another pocket. This might actually be where the MacBook goes. Yeah, this is definitely where the MacBook goes. So in the back pocket here is where I can put my MacBook, and then in the front pocket here is where I can put my iPad. So let me fix this. So yeah, so in the back pocket here, I can put my laptop so that I have dedicated access to it. But yeah, this was a super nice gift, and I think it's gonna be perfect for keeping things, small in size, but still expands enough to carry what I need when I need it, Another item that I'm excited about is my away luggage. That's why I'm like, does that count as a bag? Because in my eyes, yes, today it does. I was eyeing this one because I wanted a larger bag, but when I saw the color, that's what sold me. And the way that the handle was like kind of translucent and the little keypad for the numbers, it just was a cute suitcase. And I just felt like it would be perfect for my upcoming trip. I do have some other suitcases from them as well, and they are one brand that I feel like every time I try a different suitcase, I end up coming back to Away. One for the build and two for the wheels. Like, you don't know how necessary good suitcase wheels are until you're in multiple situations where they're needed. And my away luggage, I've learned, has just rolled so much easier on different floors than any other suitcases that I have used, especially when they are placed on carpet. Like, that's the real challenge there. My other suitcases, I'm like just chugging along, like struggling, and my away suitcase is just gliding. So that really stands out for me, especially when I'm doing a lot of walking with my luggage. They are not the cheapest, but they are an investment that you will not have to replace for some time unless you're like me and choose to do so. All right, my TV shows that I've been watching lately. Paradise. Did I mention that last time? No. Paradise is a TV show that I recently got into. It's honestly very much on the beginning stages for me right now, because I'm like on maybe episode 2. I've been struggling to get through the season, and it's no fault of the show. Life has just been super busy, but it is so good. It stars Sterling Brown, which is the actor that played in This Is Us. If you've seen that, God, you know already what I'm talking about. But Sterling Brown is one of the key actors in here. It pretty much circles around him and his security team, protecting the president. Something ends up happening to the president, and then this security team does what they can to figure out what actually happened to him. Because, everybody's kind of pointing the finger at everybody, they're unsure of who they can trust. But the storyline just evolves from there. I've only heard great things about it, so I'm super excited to finish the season. But another show that I'm watching is Severance. Oh man, I talked about this before in a monthly faves, and that was for season 1. And now season 2 is finally here. People at this time have the option to take part of a severance package, which lets them separate their work life from their personal life. Two separate worlds for the same person. There are a lot of twists and turns in this show, but it is overall an amazing show. It is on Apple TV Plus, and I highly recommend it. But yeah, we're still trying to get through season 2, but season 1 had me hooked. And lastly, but definitely not least, my music playlist. I'm gonna throw it up over here. These are the songs that I've been listening to lately. I do have a playlist up here for all of the previous months as well. But yeah, y'all, I think that's gonna do it. Oh man, I feel like I talked about a lot, but still not enough. But nonetheless, we're gonna end it here. You can feel free to give me a follow on Instagram to stay updated with what's going on with me. That's TECHME0UT. But until the next one, y'all, as always, thanks for taking the time out to let me tech you out.